What it do, what it do, what it do? What up, though? I'm Dre Day.
It's Big Chuck.
And this is How Did We Get Here? And today's episode is particularly special to me because we got, Tupac never got his recognition, his full recognition until years after he passed, and you sit and listen to them lyrics. And even Picasso, they didn't give him his accolades. He didn't get paid for all those multi-million-dollar paintings that he painted while he was here. He didn't get paid for none of that. They recognized him after he was gone. And the list goes on and on of artists that we appreciate much more after they gone than when they were here, when they were sitting with us and they was kicking it with us. But today, and I can call him my friend, we got Mr. Joe Cazeno.
Appreciate it, man.
Joe Cazeno is he's responsible for a lot of things that us in Detroit we see. Some of y'all in South Beach see his work. Lights. Everything. You can't see nothing without light, right? And when you go to an event, or you go to a building, or you go to a hotel, you go to a store, they've strategically designed that lighting to give an impact or the effect that they want you to feel when you walk into that space. This man is responsible for a lot of that lighting, but that's just the day job. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to get funky and do something crazy like this right here, you know what I mean? Or some real art, that's the passion. So again, we got Joe Cazeno. What up, Joe?
Appreciate you, man.
My dog.
Appreciate the intro. Hospitality, for sure.
Yes, sir. So we got Joy here. He's an artist, man. And he's got some exciting things going on. He is the Tupac that's alive. He's the Picasso that's here right now. He's the, he's here with us, and we're gonna give him his due, man. We're gonna give this guy his due. He's a beast. Joy, what up, man? Tell us what's up, man. Tell us what you got going on.
You blowing me away with this Tupac comparison.
Hey.
I gotta get to work.
You know what I'm saying? It's real.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I got some songs I made, but nothing, more of a beat maker for real.
So, first of all, we always start with a little prayer here. Let's say our prayer real quick. Father God, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for this Friday evening that you've allowed us to get together and discuss life and all its challenges, all the ups and downs, all the victories, the challenges. We thank you for our guest today, Joe Cazeno. We know that he has a very interesting story. We know that he's went through ups, he's went through downs, but at the end of the day, we want to talk about it, and we want this interview to be used to help someone, give us what to say and what to do here, give us open minds, give us revelation so that we can see what it is that you're trying to do here today. And again, we want these words to eventually reach somebody and help them at a point where they need help. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, so we got Joe Cazeno here. Let's get into some of what Joe do. In Detroit, all of our big events, the newest, hottest, sweetest arena here is Little Caesars Arena, right? Mm-hmm. And I knew that there was a lot of money put into there, and I knew that all of the concerts are there, and the Pistons play there. So when they wanted you to see Caesars Arena, how they wanted you to look, how the shadows was going to be, they had to come to Joy and get his direction on that. And he put that together.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was kind of like, I work at a lighting design firm, which I never dreamed of working at a lighting design firm. It was just something that out of college and found.
Okay.
But I had a product design background. So when I applied, the place was like, oh man, he can draw and he can come up with different ideas and stuff. So they gave me an opportunity. And I could do graphic design too. So
we're gonna get into how you got into graphic design and all this. You're throwing these big terms at us. But recently I went to an art show. Joey's having an art show, and I didn't go because I'm an art connoisseur. I didn't go because I buy my art from Home Goods. You know what I'm saying? In general, we're gonna buy whatever match the living room. You feel me? So, but I went to support my friend. And when I walked in the door, it was immediately amazing.
appreciate it.
Flat out, it was amazing. The colors, the venue was perfect. And then when I walked through the room, I immediately started to see like, man, there are some hours and passion and dedication into each piece here. So you're a beast with it. So let's go back. Young Joy, when did you start? All kids draw. We draw stick figures, we draw cartoon characters. When did you start drawing?
And my mama said from the beginning, she was like, man, we should put you off in the corner with some tape, crayons and stuff, and then 5 hours later, I would still be over there just crafting, man. So they were like, all right, let him do that. So they always just pushed me to that. Really, my mom, you know, she would sign me up for all kind of classes, buy all the art supplies, and so I've been drawing like my whole life for real. You know, I got pictures that is like first grade, kindergarten.
Wow.
And you know, at my show, I had a little collage wall where I was displaying some of that, you know, kind of the journey.
Right.
At what point did you know that you were better than everybody else?
One of the homies would be like, dude, draw my hands on my dude, draw the face on there, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it would be more collaborations at the beginning, but then it would be like, bro, do my varsity jacket for me, you know what I'm saying? Do my tattoo for me.
Okay.
And, you know, people get mad when you wouldn't do it. You know,
Right.
you do it for somebody else. And it's like Sandy, like, oh, Kev, you did K Rose tattoo. You did so painting. So, you know, but it's cool, man, because I always feel like I could give like a priceless gift, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful, man, to be able to have so obviously that's your passion. That's something that you love. That's your gift. I believe you said it first. That when you look at this artwork, and we got some of it displayed here, we'll go into some more of it later. But when you look at his artwork, what you see is this is God given. This is not somebody playing around. And I don't know how much schooling or direction it would take for me to get anywhere near this. I don't believe I could do it. But it's obviously God given. So from a kid, you always drew. And that would be so when you get out of school, you want to go draw something in your spare time. But is there a point where you started to take it seriously, or how, you know, as you grew up, how did that go?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, like people, I mean, I wish I could draw. And I would say, well, you gotta put 100 hours in. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just like somebody wishing they could play guitar. You know, you sit there and strum and get the calluses on your hands and all that, and then you have that skill. So, it's a trained skill for real. Like, I like to draw, but it's also, it's work, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, I do things for fun too, you know, like playing a video game is just pure fun. Like,
Right.
There's no work, you know. Making beats is almost pure fun, you know. Art is fun, but it is a grind to it, and it is sometimes like a little anxiety, like, oh man, this don't look right. Erase.
Right.
You know, the eye is off, you know.
Right.
But the reward is everybody championing you. You know what I mean? And then when I did my first mural, that's when it was like, oh my God, this is so dope. And I'm like, man, I can do better stuff than this. But, you know, it's like on a big scale. It just, you know, now you're like a hero.
And then when you walk away from that mural and be like, wow, everybody's going to be able to see this picture that I drew.
Yeah, like I was in a mural fest almost by mistake. I just kind of like Debo my way in as a volunteer. And then the lady was like, yeah, you've been helping all weekend. I'm going to give you your own wall. So She came on the wall. I looked up one day, man, it was like 50 people watching me paint.
Straight up.
Yeah, man. My dad came out there. He was like, at first my dad was like, bro, what you doing, man? You know, painting in the hood. And he came down there. He was like, dog. He was talking to everybody. So, you know. And then I ended up doing like 5 murals after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
From that,
Yep.
people saw that they wanted something.
So when you look back in your family, like, does your mom or your dad draw, or uncles, or?
My mom just really supported. She didn't really draw. My dad used to do like drafting, like
Okay.
engineering drafting, but he was cold with it because he would do stuff for like his Jeep. He would draft out little like when they would do little paint lines and stuff, little detail stuff. But I was like the only artist for real in the
Okay.
family. My brother was real good at sports, and so I tried to like be in sports and stuff, but I was like just for real mediocre. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna try real hard though. I was gonna hustle for sure. I wasn't gonna score no touchdowns.
So, okay. So now everybody knows that Joey knows how to draw. Everybody's gonna call Joey when they want a logo designed, or they want a picture drawn, or a tattoo, or something like that.
Everything.
So now we in high school, right? And it's time to start getting serious. And it's like, you know, just from a rational 16 or 17-year-old, you can't think of a job that you can go to and like, I'm a draw for a living. So
Yeah, I didn't know any designers. I didn't know any black designers. I didn't know about product design at that point.
right,
It was kind of like be an engineer, a lawyer, doctor, or you was gonna be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't an athlete, so I guess I'll be an engineer. And then you had the like civil, mechanical, and then architectural seemed like, oh, cool, I mean, doing houses and buildings and stuff like that. But I really didn't know. I don't know if I'm to blame. It's not really nobody to blame. It's just almost like I just wasn't. I just didn't see that kind of stuff. Like if I would have saw somebody say, "Oh, you can go to school for video game design," or "You can go to school for, you know, designing shoes right up the
Right.
street at CCS," I'm like, "Oh, what?" I was like, I went to the Black College tour, and that's where I was going. I'm like, bro, all the women, I'm going with the homie.
right.
Yeah.
So you was
I'll
what,
pick a
16,
major.
17 years old? You shout
Yeah.
out to the Black College tour.
16, we went to Clark, Atlanta, Spelman, that whole thing. That's where I was going. I was gonna pick my major when I got down there.
You seen Hillman.
Yeah.
Off the like off a different world. You saw
There
Hillman.
was too many
like,
women.
Too many women.
It
Oh,
was too
wow.
beautiful. It was too many black people. Just
Yeah.
you know, you didn't see that many in a circle
Positive black
without
energy.
no police around
Right.
Yeah.
messing it up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So out of that tour, what school did you end up going to?
I went to Tennessee State with one of my homies named Rick, and I really went down there because he went down there because he was like, I think I'm gonna go down there. I was kind of a follower, you know what I'm saying, but I would follow the cool homies. So I remember my mom was like, "You just doing that because of Rick?" And I'm like, "Kinda." You know what I'm saying?
So
but it
you-
worked out.
The
Yeah.
fun can continue though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
'Cause
go
he
down
was
there
the
with the
homie.
homie.
I didn't have to go
Right.
down there with no stranger.
Yeah.
You know, we would check each other. He would be like, "Bro, don't do that." I remember when this dude handed me a blunt with dipped in NyQuil. I'm like, yeah. He
Let me just see what it tastes like.
he smacked my hand like, "Bro, come on, bro. We don't do that where we from." I'm like, oh.
Suge and I went to school together too. We was roommates up at school.
Oh, okay, dope.
But so you went with one of your familiar homeboys,
Yeah.
Tennessee State. What was the major?
Architectural engineering. And I remember from my first day, I remember I was like, oh, this ain't it.
You
I'm
knew.
like, campus is cool, the vibe is cool, the schooling was terrible. Like, no challenges, didn't look like none of them teachers really cared for real.
Oh,
And
yeah?
then my main counselor was like an angry black dude. He's like, "Man, what you need?" I'm like, "Well, it's my first day in college. He told me I had to come see you. Told me to come see you." He's like, "All right. You ain't got no questions then." I'm like, dang, this dude really don't.
Straight up.
He was kind of a jerk, you know what I'm saying? So then I was kind of like, man, I really don't know what I want to do. And he like, you kind of too late on that. So I'm like, I remember talking to my mom, like, "Mom, maybe like a month in, I'm like, I don't know. That was probably a bad thing, because my mama instantly was like, gotta get you out of there.
Okay.
So, and then I kind of fought her on that, but she won, and then I ended up changing my whole major.
But you was having a great time at school.
I was having a blast.
So
I wasn't going to school.
it just wasn't challenging.
We go halfway to school, you get to the yard, and he's talking about Annieing up on some trees. That's where you're going, and some drink, and then
So there goes the
you
day.
can still pass.
You
Like,
can still pass.
oh yeah, because you just go to the little final or the quiz or whatever. And, bro, the HBCU, it's like Southfield High was 10 times harder than that. And that's when I'm like, something ain't right with the challenge. You know what I'm saying? And it was me. I wasn't into architectural engineering. I'm like, I need to be doing something more creative. You know what I'm saying?
But who at 16, 17-year-old knows?
Nobody knows.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What
That's
field
why
they
when you
wanna go to.
graduate from college, you don't really know. You need to go to something else, like a G League. Like, all right, look at all these dope careers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's choose something that's gonna take you down that instead of you going to take chemistry again and math. Cause I shouldn't have took none of that. I ended up paying like $100,000 down there in Nashville to, a bunch of classes.
Taking a
that
whole
suck.
bunch of classes that do not relate to what you're trying to do.
I learned life lessons from Nashville, in Tennessee State.
That's college
Which
in
I
general.
would I loved my time down there.
Yeah.
Cause we was like going to Atlanta, then we was going to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right there in the middle of everything.
Bro, we was never down. There was so many girls. They just showed you so much love that you just like, oh man, this is the best.
Hey, it's a breeze.
The down south, the southern hospitality is real. Like black dudes talk to you and be like, "What up, man? How you doing? I'm Joe."
Yeah.
Like, bro, hold on.
We from Detroit, like
You ain't coming in my room, bro. Like, what do you mean? I'll come check out my room. Like, what? What's wrong with these cats? You know?
So how much time did you spend in Tennessee?
So I was down there 2 years. I fought my parents to stay down there. Then my mom was like, I found these other cool schools you can go to that got this industrial design. So I was, the dude named LJ, we was having a smoke session, and he like, bro, my cousin worked for Anwan. And I'm like, Bird, what do you do? I'm like, he do industrial design. So I just ended up calling my mom, like, Mom, you ever heard of this? She's like, no, I'm gonna look into it.
Industrial design. Okay.
Yep. And so they had
Mama
that
was
Western.
on it.
Yeah. My mama knew. She like, you complain about this school, I'ma do something, find something. So she like, Western got this program, I got a tour for you. So when you come up for, spring break, we gonna go on this tour. And we went on the tour, and the dude saw my drawings. I had to bring up some of my drawings and stuff. And he was like, yes, I love you. He was like a Romanian dude.
Drawings from the architectural program.
No, drawings from high school.
Oh, drawings. Okay.
Because they were like, bring your portfolio. I didn't have one at the time. Just had like drawings and stuff. And he's like, yeah, we want you here. So I'm like, dang, man, And the classes was like wood furniture design, graphic design.
No more
sculpture.
chemistry and none of that.
Bro, they was all art stuff.
Okay.
Life drawing. And
Was there a teacher at Southfield High that showed interest in your art, or was it when you got to college?
it was a teacher named Alvaro Carrera in college who like, I felt like he did me dirty, but it was really like a super challenge. Like, first day at Western, he like walked around the class. And somebody talking to you, you just looking at him, but you ain't gonna just stare at him like this. So he came around, he talking to everybody, get to me, he started talking, I'm looking at him, and I just kind of look off like this. He's like, don't disrespect me. Don't ever look away. I'm like, what? He gave me this whole thing about looking somebody in the eye when they talking to you and this whole thing. So I'm embarrassed. I'm the only black dude in the class. I'm like, bruh, I'm about to, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like a Latino dude. So I'm like, why you giving me like this? So now.
And this is at Western.
It's at Western.
Okay.
But I'm used to that. Like, my parents used to do stuff like that. Anybody coach used to do something. I'm like, I'm gonna show you, man. Like, okay. And so that super challenge was like kind of what I needed, because then it was like, I'm gonna show you a jerk. I'm gonna show you every time you come around, I'm staring at you. Every time we had an assignment, I was going above and beyond. And his assignments was ridiculous. It was like a Wednesday. He was like, all right, Monday, 100 sketches. Like Monday, all right. y'all have a good weekend. Everybody like, wait, what? 100? And he wasn't talking about no little like 5 minutes. No, he wanted like, you spent the hour on this thing, you shaded and you thought about what you drew. So I remember I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do 10 a day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I kind of slipped up, so I had to try to rush in a bunch on that Sunday. I get there, I got my 100. Man, he scratched. Like literally took a marker to tear off about 80 of them.
What?
He like, no, none of these count. F. Everybody failed. He like, you know what? Y'all not gonna pass this.
He
like,
set the
y'all
tone.
not gonna pass in life. And I'm like, dog, what's wrong with this nigga? Like, but the best thing was, you know, I'm up at Western and none of the homies was up there. I had came from Tennessee State, so I knew like, all right, I can't mess around no more. I gotta get to it.
That had to be a whole different vibe, though. Like
Bro,
coming from a black college to Western,
A culture shock, bro.
culture shock, like.
Like no more yard parties, no more black women all over the place. Police now, you know what I'm saying? Hella white people, not racist or anything, but just like, take me back.
Get to Western, you're more in your zone because the program itself is more committed to art.
Now sometimes I did realize that even though the class looked cool, well, furniture design, teacher could suck. That's when
Right.
I'm like, man, this school shit is set up to take your money and look cool, but you really got to do the research on what school
Yeah.
you go to. Like you go to design school, you got to go to the best design school, and you got to research the teacher too, because it'll be 3 teachers doing the same thing, and you want to get on this guy. You know what I'm saying?
It should almost be a page where you could do reviews. Like, I took this class with this teacher.
Well, I was an 89-year-old dude teaching wood furniture design. I remember I almost killed myself in the class on a table saw, which I don't do table saws no more. I'm straight.
So art is mainly repetition and getting your, I mean, the guy says do 100 sketches over a few days.
Bro, he was like, do 100 sketches, so I really had to shut down all social life. But like I said, with none of the homies up there, I had no girlfriend, so I was just like, all right, this dude crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And he knew that. The teacher knew that.
He knew that.
That wasn't his first time doing that.
You ever seen the movie Whiplash?
No.
The drummer? You would love that movie, because that's how the teacher was. Like, I'm going to kill you to make you great.
So that was it. This is the beginning of the class, and he breaking
Well, he
you
told,
in.
he said, y'all gonna have to walk on water to get an A in this class. So like, I'm killing it freshman year.
So what class
I get
was
a
that?
C. That was industrial design.
Industrial
that was
design.
my main thesis.
Okay.
So I had him 4 years. But by the 4th year, he cried, bro, because my stuff was so dope.
Really?
Like it was me and this dude. They put us in groups. They put me with this dude. His name was Jason Stempian, and he couldn't draw. He couldn't like really come up with ideas like that. But he was a master modeler. Like he loved to cut and saw and do all this stuff and paint. And then he was a real good 3D modeler. So it was like this perfect mesh. And we did this product. It was called the wireless paperless workstation. So it's something you would see nowadays, but we did it in like 2000. And it was just really dope. Like the dude worked at an automotive shop, so our model he had painted, and it looked like a car. You know what I'm saying? It was like a desk and had actuators on it, and screens and everything. The screens didn't work, but the teacher literally like got choked up. He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so 4 years of like
Whooping on you.
yeah, like, dang, you know what I'm saying? This dude was really on us. And part of our senior thesis was resume, business cards, and website. You had to create that in part of the schooling. So when we graduated...
A real one?
A real one.
Okay.
Like, so I had full portfolio, full graphic design, like printed out in a book, a website with your portfolio on there, and business cards and stuff. So that was part of, like, your A. And I remember he gave me an A, and he was all choked up. He's like, I remember you used to come in here with your do-rags and your hoodies. I'm like, yeah, you was racially profiling, you was stereotyping, you know what I mean? But he was like, but you really showed me, you know what I'm saying? You're one of my best students. And so as soon as I got a job, I emailed him, like, bro, I got a job. You know what I'm saying? It's a lighting design company, but they do industrial design. And he was like, so happy for you, because he used to want to go and tell his current students, you know what I'm saying?
So were you finding a passion for this industrial design? Is
Yeah.
that, you figure like that was your niche as
it
opposed
was
to?
dope because it's like you can design anything. So I could do shoes, I could do computers, I could do this microphone stand. Right, like I could sit here and be like, all right, how can I make this better? Like, you know, with the parts and pieces and, and then it breaks down to like processing and what plastics and metals and how they make. So it's just this endless learning thing, like with product design, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I like. And then I felt like when I would be in circles, I would be like, I'm a man, okay. I'm talking about, the new Yeezys, but I'm talking about from the standpoint of, oh yeah, these was injection molded. And I wonder how he,
You know how they came to be.
Exactly, and I'm thinking about the packaging
And the raw materials.
all the stuff behind it. And I want to work with Yeezy, and I can. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, not no more, but not right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's on timeout.
He needed to know how he got here too, for real. Anyways, that's another topic. But so we pushing through college. Is that where you graduated from?
Yeah, I graduated from Western. It took me 7 years of college. So I was like, whatever that movie was, my man was still in school. That was me. But graduated, then I couldn't get an industrial design job. Like it took me, felt like almost 6 months. And then my dad started going around. And my dad was like a salesman. He was like, hey, yeah, my son's a designer. My son's a designer. Yeah, so he met this dude who worked at a lighting design company. And then he was like, send your resume into this dude tomorrow. So I'm like, yeah, I got to get out this crib.
Yeah, you
So,
gotta get a job, brother.
yeah, because he started bringing resumes like UPS. And I'm like, bro, come on, man, I went to school, man. So then interviewed with the company. They hired me on the spot. And they didn't even look at my work. That was the weirdest thing. The dude, he just liked me. Yeah, I remember his name was Ken Clemmer. He's like, yeah, man.
Pops had a good strong talk with Ken, huh? He said, listen.
Yeah. Well, I went in there and he's like, when can you start? I'm like, shit, today. He's like, be careful what you ask for, man. So we did a tour of the building, and he's like, well, I'll give you a call in 2 weeks. I'm like, don't you want to see my work? I had a whole book. I was ready to show him stuff.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, I kinda got a rush, but yeah. I'm like, I flashed through that stuff. He's like, all right, man, yeah, man, great stuff, And so in 2 weeks, I called him. He's like, who's this? I'm like, it's Joe Cazeno, we did it. He's like, oh yeah, man, I forgot to tell you hired. I'm like, damn, thanks.
I've been waiting on that
Yeah,
call.
I was so geeked, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't care how much they was gonna give me. Like, I had just accepted it.
Right.
Now, that was bad, because,
Right. Then you found out.
they paid me the lowest amount. But I was just happy to have a job, and I was all right, in an apartment.
I'm on my way
Yeah.
now.
That opened the door.
Quick.
I'm on my way now.
Me and Pop started to just frustrate each other in the same house. You know what I'm saying? Just breathing in the same room. You like, bruh, get your own crib. You know what I'm saying?
So such is the path of a young man. We a lot of times, you're getting older, we go to school for the purpose of, and I think that's a problem that is in our culture. You go to school because you're trying to get a job, right? And a job that's going to, a lot of us are focused on the job that's going to pay the most. But you grow up and you want to get out and get your own apartment. So then you have this job, and now you got the bills that go with this job.
Yeah, my money quickly disappeared.
Get you an apartment and
Working
hanging out
outside.
and working and all like that.
Mhm.
And then challenges in life come, right? You realize that we're not invincible. You know, when you're young, you can literally go out, because I've tried it. You can literally go out and party Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and Monday night football, and then still be at work strong on Tuesday.
Strong. You might be a little woozy.
A little woozy, but you can get through
You
it,
still can function.
right? And then we realize we're getting older, and recuperate as fast.
I've fallen asleep at the desk before. Somebody tapped me like, y'all.
And then from what I remember, at some point you started going through some kind of sickness. It was vertigo, but before that it was migraines.
Yep, I had a little battle with the grains. Because I started to feel like, man, I'm getting these crazy headaches all of a sudden. But I was working a job and I was staying up real late, just playing a video game and working on beats and just doing side projects and stuff. And then I think I was in a relationship at the time that really was confusing, you know what I'm saying? And so then I just started having headaches every day. I'm like, all right, bro, I had this same headache for about a week. I go in there, and when I tell you, bro, they just put out a big book. Yeah, it could be one of these things. I mean, it was could be chocolate, could be this, could be that, could be this. So I'm like, I just started crossing everything off the list. And I was still having these headaches, and they gave me this medicine called Proxen. And I don't really trust doctors like that. I'm just not a big Western medicine type of guy, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting an MRI, and they were like, I was like, all right, this is going to tell me what it is. And they were like, yep, we don't see anything. You don't have any blockage, anything. So I'm like, man.
Which is good, but you left in suspense.
Yeah, I'm still like, damn. You
I
know
still got headaches.
Yeah.
Right? And I would take this medicine, it would kind of dissipate them a little bit, but so after a while, I'm like, I'm done with the medicine. I'm just going to chill on the medicine maybe for a couple of days, see what happens. I took this MRI, left, and when I left, I was like, all right, they told me nothing wrong, so I'm about to go get some McDonald's. I'm about to go smoke. I'm about to drink a Coke. I'm about to just do all the stuff that I used to do that I thought was, warm. So I remember I did all of that, and then, I kind of, for the rest of the day, I'm like, I got a headache. So then, the next day, headache gone. Next day, headache gone. Headache never came back from the day I got the MRI. And I'm like, huh? What happened? You know what I'm saying? So about maybe 2-3 weeks later, I had all these appointments lined up, and I go see a chiropractor. And I was like, yeah, man, I was dealing with these headaches. They kind of went away. And he was like, well, I'm going to run some tests. And he looked at my ears, and he's like, bro, you have Mount Everest of wax build up deep in your ear. And he was like, you got to go and get that almost surgically removed. And I'm like, what? Nobody, no doctor tell me. I've been going to the doctor for almost a year now, dealing with stuff. So, you know what? I'll fast forward to the vertigo. I'm sorry.
So the migraines went away.
The migraines went away, and then about maybe a year later, the vertigo came.
Vertigo.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, what is vertigo? I've heard
It's
it
like
before,
you just
but
get
give us the
extremely-
real feeling, the definite, not the technical. Tell us what it feels like when you wake up and you experiencing vertigo.
Your whole world's spinning. Literally, it's just spinning. You standing still, and it's just
The worst hangover in the world.
the worst.
And it won't stop.
Won't stop. You just sit down oh, I'm having a stroke or something. I don't know what's going on. And then you open your eyes, still going. It's oh,
Shit.
and then it'll go away. You know what I'm saying? But when that happens, your day is ruined.
So for periods, how long I'm experiencing vertigo, I wake up and it's going on. How long does that go on?
Bro. That 24 hours is cooked. So you just gotta hope the next day you don't get hit with the big spell. But then,
So it comes in waves.
yeah, I sometimes still might feel a little bit of it, and I have this little it's a little neck thing that they showed me to do. But I don't know if it's just my mind. I don't know, But it's once you go through, you just kind of paranoid a little bit.
Right.
That's why I don't drink, cause I don't even want to be dizzy.
Right.
Nah, I don't want to get on no roller coasters. I don't want to get on nothing that's
Right.
spinning me. Don't spin me in the air. I don't wish that on nobody, man, because it's really just debilitating. You know what I mean? Like the headaches, that sucks. The vertigo, you can't, like you could drive with a headache. With the vertigo, bro, ain't no driving. You about to crash.
So you wake up on the day you're having these spells. That day is like you gonna be dealing with that all day.
All day.
So as a designer,
It'll go down a little bit and you just be like, oh man, why am I so dizzy today? So then you're nauseated.
but you were still working during this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You was doing where was you working at while this was going on?
The lighting spot. I worked there for 17 years.
So it was a lot of call offs, or what was that?
It was really just like I was dealing with it. So it didn't affect my driving that much, luckily. I only worked 5 minutes from the job. So I was able to get there and just kind of, it was probably bad for like 6 months, but it wasn't like just every day. It'd be like once a week.
Did they know about it?
Oh yeah. 'Cause I'm like, bro, this shit crazy.
How long did you go before you was diagnosed with vertigo?
They quickly gave me that diagnosis. Like,
Okay.
oh, it's just vertigo. But I think it might have been like 6 months. I saw a chiropractor. That's why I fast forwarded by mistake. And he was like, you got big wax in your ear and all this stuff. But I had already saw ear, nose, and throat, all these people. So they did this like surgical thing where they, wasn't like surgery. The lady just went in and pulled stuff out. But I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that was in my ear, bro? No wonder why.
So did they put you on medicines and stuff for the vertigo?
Bro, they had me on all type of pills. The chiropractor was like, don't take no more of that. He like, go do this ear thing. Literally, bro, they pulled out the ridiculous amount of wax on my ear, and I'm like, and then I never have ever gone through that.
Wow.
I
Wow.
was on Dramamine, I was on Meclamine.
They just practicing medicine.
Yeah, but it was something, yeah. It was something about the migraines that was shady. I was on the naproxen for like a month, 2 months. And I went back, took a blood test, and the guy was like, oh, your liver enzymes are way spiked. You gotta
From
go-
that medicine?
No, he just saying, shit spiked, bro. And I'm like, from the medicine? That's the same thing I said. He's like, oh, no, that wouldn't do that. So I don't know why I'm having these headaches. So now I'm like, dog, what the fuck going on? My liver tripping, dog? I'm in there breaking down tears in the car.
Right.
And he's like, go see this liver specialist right now.
Mm.
And it was like an emergency liver specialist because my shit was just spiked. Man, I drove to this spot, bro. I remember. And I had some weed on me. And I'm like, it's this medicine, bro. I ain't going up in here. I'm not about to take nothing else. I'm about to roll up in this parking lot. And I smoked. And I just kind of like had a little inner prayer. And I'm like, trust your gut. Go home. Went home, bro. And I threw the naproxen shit out, right? So 2 weeks later, I had another blood test. And I go in, and he's like, good news, man. Your liver enzymes are back down to normal. But I'm not seeing what you took on the chart.
Yeah, it's uncharged.
I'm like, yeah, bro. I didn't go, and I'm done with you.
Call Jazz, he'll tell you what I took.
Right. I'm like, bro, I'm done with you, bro. And he sat there trying to argue with me, like, well, I don't know, I'm like, I'm just saying, bro, it could have been a naproxen, bro. Like, I stopped taking it, and now my stuff back to normal. So, I would tell anybody who got migraines, man, just cut out everything you eating that's bad. Just drink water and eat vegetables. Because
That's for everything.
everything.
That's
You get your knee hurt, bro?
change up
Just
that diet.
cut the diet out because my dog was going through some stuff and they like, oh, I'm about to do this surgery. I went online, bro. They like, switch this up.
Natural foods. And
He's straight now. I'm like, all right, bro. Let me just do the Dr. Sebi.
that's another thing too. I've learned through my dad with cancer, my sister-in-law recently with cancer, and when you're a kid, you think that when you go to the doctor, like you wait till you're in serious pain or seriously stomach hurting or flu or whatever, and then you go to the doctor and you think that they're gonna fix it. Like when I walk into the emergency room, I think that I'm here because I got this problem. Y'all about to fix it.
Nah.
Now you older, you realize like they was like, all right, we'll do this test, and all they're doing is practicing medicine. We say we've seen 100 people with these symptoms. We tried this on this person. It worked well for this person. It didn't work for this. So they're trying all this medicine, but you having migraines. So they are looking at some people that were in similar situations. Oh, try this naproxen. You know,
But ain't nothing natural about that drug.
it's
He
a
did not
drug.
say, what's your diet like, bro? Right? Oh, you eat Skittles every day? Coke? Don't do that. You know. But that might not even have been the thing. It might have been the hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Unhealthy diet overall.
overall. You know, the American diet, I think the European diet, it ain't the African man diet. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have access to a lot of that stuff. But I just know how I feel now. Like, I be juicing now. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll just take all this fruit that I don't like to eat. Because I'm not about to sit up and eat blackberries and blueberries and all this stuff. I just don't even like the texture.
Right.
And I just throw it in the juicer. Bro, I can run miles. I can do workouts. I'm like, I didn't eat no food.
Everything you put in was natural though.
Yeah. And I'm not getting sleepy.
It's
You know
got
what
the
I'm saying?
nutrients you need.
Bro, now I'm at work thinking I'm better than people now. I'm like, that's that nigga. Drinking a Coke and eating chips.
Right. Like I'm
You didn't even
juicing.
work out today.
Right.
You're beneath me.
Right. Right.
I thought that somebody was driving the other day. I'm like, because he's like, go, go. I'm like, fat nigga. Out of shape.
You're healthy. Look at you with that
Look at you
drive-thru
smoking.
food. Right.
No wonder you're miserable.
Right. So, okay. We still on the path to figure out how did we get here. So, what age was you when you was going through the headache /
Oh,
the
that's
vertigo?
like late 20s and the 30s for real.
Okay.
Because I was working at the company for 10 years. And then I remember I started dating this girl, and that's when the headaches came. And the same girl with the vertigo. And I'm like, I got to get rid of you. It's too much
At
going
what
on.
point did the girl leave?
No, it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, I'm just
I
asking.
added to the recipe of
Okay.
disaster.
Okay, so
That's when I started realizing, like, it's on me, too. You know, I would be playing victim role.
So you got through the vertigo after all this medicine and false diagnosis,
Yeah, got through the vertigo, and then,
earwax. That was
Yeah.
the big problem.
yeah,
Earwax.
rocks in my ears.
So they
Got it.
fixed that. Vertigo's gone, right?
That's gone, so I got back in the gym heavy. But I was still in a relationship, and then my partner passed away. Parker passed away.
Right.
My partner Peanut reached out to me just randomly on Facebook, and I don't even have a Facebook, but I had created they had created like this memorial page for Parker that I used to go and look at. And Peanut just messaged me on there like, yo, you was always cold with the art. And I'm like, man, bro, you was always cold with the working out and sports and stuff. And he was like, you know, I do training, personal training. So I'm like, bro,
Sign me up.
let's go. And so he would drive over to my house every day and train me in my house. I was super weak, bro. Like, and he was real patient with me, and I love Peanut for that because it really like saved my life, you know. And he was going through some stuff at the time, so financially I could kind of look
Right.
out for him. And we trained for almost 2 years together.
Wow.
Yeah, but I got a trainer to this day because it's like it's a different type of energy when somebody like, all right, one more round. You like, damn. Why'd you say 5? Yeah, 6 today.
Right.
You know, I would have been quit at 4. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That,
Oh, so
people see
you would
exercise
say the
probably.
sickness drove you to be like, all right, let me get physically in shape too.
Well, it was like, yeah, it was sort of random, right? It was like I said, Peanut just randomly hit me, and when Parker was sick, he would always talk about, I can't wait till I'm better. I'm gonna get back to the gym,
Right.
and he would be working out like he was Kobe, because Kobe in the gym at 5, I'm in the gym at 5, and he had got real muscular. Then I'm gonna say he was dealing with lupus, and then
Yeah.
passed from that. But I was like, man, let me get in the gym. Ain't nothing wrong with me. You know, Parker was around, he'd be in the gym. And so I would be like thinking about him. when I be going through a set or something
Right.
like that, I ain't got no excuse, bro.
Right.
Let me just get on. And I would tell everybody, like, if you going through anything, bro, the exercise is definitely gonna snap you out of it. Because the result that you get is priceless. And it ain't about how you look. That's gonna happen too. It's like some brain things that go on. Like I said, I be feeling like I did more than you today.
It
You know
gives
what
you
I'm
good testosterone. I mean, not testosterone.
Oh no, testosterone.
Adrenaline.
Oh, the testosterone, bro. Like I never used to work my legs, right? I would just run. And my trainer now, he's like heavy in squats, heavy in deadlifts, all this type of stuff, bro. Like as a man, you want to do that.
Said all that to say, when at a certain point in life as a kid, Joey loved to draw for 4 or 5 hours a day. Life progressed. We get into school. The school kind of distracts you from,
Yep.
because you can't go to college to just draw. You got to go to college for a specific.
Yeah.
And then a lot of us get sidetracked because we went to architectural lighting design when I really should have been in industrial design.
Yeah.
Or I should have been in this design.
Then
So you
not
figured
to
out
cut you
that
off.
path. Go ahead.
Because when I was drawing in school, I'm like, cool, I'm doing industrial design, but then I got a lighting design job. I wasn't drawing no more. I was doing technical stuff. Like, even though Little Caesars was dope, the experience, some of it was creative, but 70-80% of it was technical. Fixture schedules, and fixture specs, and wattages, and energy codes, and like, bro, I'm looking at numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's not what you
Right.
signed up for.
People don't even know how much went into that stadium. You know
I
what
can
I'm saying?
imagine. That's
And that's just the lighting.
hey man, shout out to you for being a part of that, because that's way bigger than what I even imagine what you did.
It was dope, and you know they gave credit to a bunch of people at the company that didn't have nothing to do with the project.
That's how things go.
They were like, "Yo, we going down to sign the beam." Right? They let everybody in the company go, and they pick 5 people, and I'm like,
Right.
main designer, why they going? So it's politics and all type of stuff, but then I just know, like when I go there, I'm like, bro, you know, and I'm a lighting geek now, so annoying people with everywhere we go, pointing at lights.
Shout out to Peanut. Shout out to Jeff Parker. R.I.P. to my man Jeff
Yeah,
Parker.
shout out to my man Charlie Howard on my new trainer too.
Oh yeah, he going
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, he 5 days a week.
It's yeah, it's amazing the journey. By the way, I'm gonna just throw this in here. We can decide if we want to keep it or not. But when I met my wife, I'm gonna let you know this. When I met my wife up at Michigan State, shortly after us starting to talk seriously and kick it, she said, "There is a group of guys and girls, but mostly guys, that I grew."
Uh-oh, lost the mic.
She was like, "There's a group of guys that I grew up with, and they're friends, but they're like family." And she was like, "You just gonna have to get used to them. They're not going anywhere. It is what it is. These are my friends." And out of that was Joey and Peanut and Parker and Conley and Mike Shannon and Pew. And it was all this group of guys, and it's a beautiful thing because they came up how we did. You know, we got a group of people.
And we was like, "Oh, Dre, man, who was Dre?"
Right,
man?
they would size me up.
We already had her lined up with somebody. Like, no, that ain't the homie. You know what I'm saying? But it was always love. Every time I seen you, it was always open doors. You know what I'm saying? And then we like, bro, Dre, the dope boy or something, bro. He got 10 cars. He got all this jewelry. We like, I'm not saying you be careful now.
Right.
Nah, super legit, man. So, you know, it's like another family.
It was like a family member. That was over 20 years ago. So we're all growing up together. You know, shout out to the homie Parker, man. Like I said, R.I.P. All right, rest in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
We still close with his mom, and that's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Peanut and all the crew, man. Because it produced some wonderful relationships with people.
One of the best ones, man.
So now we went to college. We got out. We got us a career. We went through the pathway.
doing it.
Went from architectural lighting design to industrial design, and then we get a job in lighting design. It takes us to do big things, and sickness comes. That take a bite out of you. You know what I'm saying? How much drawing? How much of Joey's drawing are you doing through this period?
I wasn't doing a whole bunch of Joey drawings, bro. Like I did a lot of client work. So like I would do 9 to 5, then I would do side work for people.
I need a painting. I need
painting. I need a logo. I need
okay.
this. I worked with groups because I was like, I'm gonna do some entrepreneurship type stuff. So I worked with my partner named Alkai. He started a company. I worked with my partner Jumo, who started an app. And so I would just work with these guys. Like, well, I'll do your logo, I'll do your website, and I'll do this. And then when you blow up, you know what I'm saying? And none of these things really blew up, but the experience was, you know, you just learn.
It's priceless.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Gain these relationships with folks, you know, like brothers, you know what I'm saying? And then some of these guys feel bad, like, man, I'm mad that the app didn't take off. I'm like, bro, I ain't tripping on that, you know? It's part of my portfolio.
Right.
You know, so I always gain something. But it wasn't until, like, bro, like, man, 2000 and maybe 15, 16, about maybe 2014, I'm starting to be like, I want to have an art show. I want to, like,
No.
my own thing.
How did nobody wakes up and say I want to have an art show?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the experience.
Okay, I'll take it back a little bit. Well, at Western, that's when I did my first painting my senior year. Because I wasn't doing paintings, right? So my brother got a new crib in Cincinnati. My brother used to always get real nice cribs and stuff, working for. And he's like, bro, I got this wall, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to buy this poster of LeBron or something. So I was like, I'm going to paint something. And I gave it to him. He loved it. And then I did another painting for him for Christmas, gave it to him. He loved it. And then I did an Andre 3000 painting. And this was like a challenge. I'm like, oh, I'm just try to do this. And it came out really good. And
Brother's name is Dre, by the way. Dope
Yeah.
name. Super dope. By the way.
and so did that, and that was when I think people started saying like, damn, bro, that shit look super real. It's like photorealistic, you know. And I wasn't.
So that's a type of photo. Don't just throw that term out.
Photorealistic.
We don't know.
It's like if you look at a painting and you can't tell it's a painting. You almost
Okay.
like walk up on it.
Looks like a
damn,
picture.
It's like a photograph.
Okay.
So I was doing abstract, a little bit painting, and then I was doing photorealistic. Like just kind of experiment with those styles. So those are the first ones, but I literally did them for my brother, just gave them to him. But I wasn't like doing stuff like, okay, I'm just drawing in a book for me.
Right. Okay.
Didn't really do that. And that was 2004 then. So I would always paint from 2004 all the way to 2014. I would just be painting, but I wasn't painting for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't just do a piece, hang it on the wall, and be like, "That's my style."
So it's on request.
Most requests.
You love to do it, and people would love for you to do it
Yeah,
for them.
they're like, "I want one. I don't want to be just doing them." You know what I'm saying? Making a little side money.
Okay.
But then I just started writing it down. Like I remember I told my little cousin, "I'm going to art show one day." You know.
So what's the first art show that you went to?
That's a good question. I think the homie Rick took me to a couple of art shows, probably in like 2006 or 7. This was when he was living here. He moved to New York like 2008. But in his time period living here, he would take me to all these little art shows. And I'm like, yeah, this is pretty dope. And I remember we were in one. Like he entered us in one where we did some custom shoes. And then he entered us in, like this is the same guy I went to Tennessee State with. So like Rick was just dope. He was always happy doing dope stuff. When he moved to New York, I was like, damn.
Should I go to New York?
Yeah, like, not doing anything dope anymore.
Right.
And then even when I would go visit him in New York, man, this dude, we'd be on the subway, I'd be lost. Like, bro, where are we? He'd be like, we good, we right here. And I'd be like, you know where you were the whole time? He'd be like, no, I was lost too, but I'm like, you didn't look lost.
Right.
But
So there was a. You said you went to a art show that a young lady did.
oh yeah, so like I said, I was just kind of, I wasn't on the art scene. Rick had me on the art scene for a little bit. Then he moved. I wasn't on the art scene. I was just working. You know what I'm saying? My spare time, hanging with friends, playing a video game, doing a little bit of art, making beats. You know what I'm saying? So in 2019, November, a girl named Sydney James, who I just started following on Instagram, I just kind of seen her kind of blowing up. She had some mutual friends, and she was having a show, so I pulled up, and it was packed. It was a small little venue, but it was like shoulder to shoulder in there, and a bunch of my friends was in there, and then I bumped into this dude named Snoop, who went to high school with, and he like, bro, why you don't do this? And, you know, I'm like, how you know I'm an artist? You know, because people just remember me from high school. And he like, you been an artist, man? You know, because I never put my stuff online.
Right.
He like, bro, we need to have an art show. You know, I'm in real estate. You do the art. We have one of my venues. Do an art show. I'm like, bet, let's do it. And he was so serious, like, let's pick a date right now. So we in the middle of this art show. And I'm like, I could do this shit. And he like, May 9th, 2020. So we like, bet. Boom.
May 9th, 2020.
Yep, we set the date, November 19th. This, you know,
All right,
2019. You know.
Okay. When
So,
the world was still
rocking,
normal.
right? So I left that show super hyped. That next week, I was beyond hyped because he really did call me and was like, "Come see these two venues." So we went to one. It was a restaurant. I was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to have you here. Let's check out the other one." It was like a long rectangle, but it was like abandoned, bro. I'm talking about roof caved in, everything. He like, "Bro, you want to do it here? That's what we gonna do it." He like, I'm gonna get my roofing guys here tomorrow, you know, do. I said, I'm gonna do a mural on the wall, and then we gonna get this thing going. And I remember he put the roof on, and I remember, man, I was riding, I think I was listening to Tupac. Tupac kind of bring emotions out of me sometimes. And I remember crying, driving home, like, bro, this shit really about to happen.
About to happen.
I'm about to have an art show.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Then the COVID happened. And
Shut everything
March.
down.
yeah, the COVID happened in March, and it was like, damn, like, and Snoop did not care. He like, we still have it, bro. We still have it. I'm like,
I was like that at first too. Like, I'm gonna be outside.
Hey, bro, my auntie, my uncle, my cousin, they in the hospital right now, so I ain't coming out. Okay.
Yours.
Hey, I had like 8 family members in the hospital at one time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
From COVID.
All COVID. I was like, bro, I ain't go to my mama's house for about a month. Cause they was just kind of living a little free. You know what I'm saying? My
It was
dad
like
was a little
that.
free.
It was
And,
like that.
and they were like, come on over, and I'm like, I'm good, cause Dad,
Right.
he living the free life. This nigga, he like, I was at the bowling alley. I'm like, how you at the bowling alley, bro? It's closed. Oh, down there on the 108 mile, this deal. What? Then one day I'm like, Dad, where you at? He's like, I'm at the dealership. I'm like, everything is closed, bro. How are you at the dealership? He's like, well, there's one open.
He just found
Pontiac
whatever
Trail.
he
Like, bro, you trying to get away from mom, bro. Like, y'all tripping. Go home. My mom was doing the same thing. She was just taking random trips to the grocery store. I'm like, bro, go once and get back and hide. I was really spooked by it.
I'll say
It
this.
affected me mentally.
Everybody had a different experience with COVID. Had I had 6, 7, 8 members of my family in the hospital,
Bro.
I probably would have posted differently. Me, I hate to say it, but I took it as like some time off, and you know, I wasn't never the one to rush to wear the masks. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't even mad, bro, because I wasn't one. I'll wear the mask because I'm like, oh, it's keeping me warm outside when I'm walking the dog. I'm like, this is okay. And then when somebody be sneezing or something behind me at the grocery store, I would actually feel like, aha, I'm not breathing that in,
Right.
old man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would feel like I would be beating a couple things. But when they started talking about the vaccine, that's when I was like, I'm good. Like, cause I took a flu shot in 9th grade. Bro, I got so sick.
Same here.
I made the basketball team. I missed the picture day. So I never made another team after that. So technically, I'm not even in the books for making a
Your career
basketball
didn't
team,
exist.
bro. So, but that's the last shot that I took. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, I'm cool, man. Cause I'm just gonna wait it out. And I did end up getting COVID the day after my art show.
Wow.
But I was like, dang, maybe, hopefully I'm be straight. Hopefully Cause I wasn't no anti-vaccine person. I just was like, no, I'm gonna just tough it out. But it was tough. It was a tough battle, dog. So,
So I got a question for you.
Mhm.
When it's time to eat, your body tell you something, right?
Mhm.
You get hungry. When you ready for something to drink, you get thirsty.
Mhm.
How do you know it's time to draw? How do you know when it's creative time? What happens?
Man, when it's a layoff, like literally now, you know what I'm saying? Because I was going hard from really like January to July when my show was. I was 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every night,
You
create
up.
pieces. Yeah, create pieces. I had 30 pieces to create, and I was coordinating. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when I go a long time, like I haven't really created anything. Now I did the fashion show. People are like, oh, you did a fashion show, but I haven't done anything for myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get back to. Like I do the shoes for myself. I did that piece right there for myself, behind you. Now this piece right here, I did it for somebody, but I did it in my style. And that's
Okay.
when I said, all right, you know, if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be my style. No, I'm not just gonna do something just because you're like, yo, the Statue of Liberty holding this with a pyramid.
Since we on it, because we're gonna get back to.
But yeah, it be the droughts. That's the droughts bring me back to.
Okay.
You know, it's like
Time to
minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an everyday drawer like that, but I want to be that because feel like I've been forced away by society and by the pressures and by get a job,
Yeah.
go to college, and so little Joey used to just draw all day and just create and craft stuff. Now I got to go to work and I got to do all this stuff. But to go real quick, the quarantine, I felt like it brought me back to my childhood sanity because I'm like, I ain't got to go to that building every day. I have to wake up. I'm not really a morning person, so I could stay up 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and then crawl out of bed and just be like, hey y'all, I'm ready for the meeting. We have a 1-hour meeting, and that was it. And so after that, I'm like, damn. And you could tell they would get frustrated because they'd be like, hey Joe, what do you got going on?
What are you doing?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm at home. What do you need?
So your results never. Would you honestly say that your results never slacked?
I got better when I was at the crib, cause now I didn't have to play the musical chairs game with y'all. Oh, we got a meeting. Oh, we got a company luncheon. Oh, Ron, the president, wants to talk to everybody. Oh, we're doing a sexual harassment training. Oh, food trucks out back. We're doing a Halloween party. Oh, we got a meeting, and it's like I could do the meeting at home and be working at the same time, just getting it, and then right after that, I'm going grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Boom. I come back home, got all my stuff. I'm gonna cut the grass. Boom. I'm doing all this.
So everything that you needed to get turned in was still getting turned in.
Everything was getting turned in. My whole day was better. I'm working out, eating way better. Now I'm cooking all my food. I'm not buying no crap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's everybody's new normal, and it's hard to get people back into the workplace.
Well,
I
he
tried
just
to
said
explain
that he
that to
was
the
there at
president.
9 to 10 hours. He had about 4 hours worth of work. So now he getting that extra 5 hours to
So I
his.
get all my time back.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can sleep.
And you can save money.
Bro, I told my president, oh, big money.
You know, and I, you know why I got a great respect for you, because I remember that time sitting home in the pandemic, and I'll just say it was a lot of wasted time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was good time because I was at my house. Like I never used
Bro,
to
I
be
created
able
a
to
whole
be.
business.
We never used to be at home at our house and enjoy our kids
That's
and all the
right.
things.
Yeah.
It was a, but it just felt like that you should be. We talked about this. It felt like you should be. This is time to be building or developing something.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a pianist, you would be practicing and writing music. If you're a singer, you would be in your studio. If you know, whatever it was, you should be building something. This was once in a lifetime. The world stopped. I remember you remember the first few times going out, it felt eerie in the streets.
Bro, the first 2 weeks, bro, I was spooked. I'm like, bro, is it over with? I was
Right.
feeling like Tom Hanks. Because I ain't had no family with me. I ain't had
All right.
no kids.
Oh, you was in the house by yourself.
I don't know, dog, no nothing.
How long of a
No
period did you
girlfriend?
spend in the house in solitary by yourself? Like, what's the longest period of time you went?
Bro, I mean, at least 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I remember I was like rapping to myself in the mirror. That's when I knew. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go crazy in this bitch. Because I went and got all my food.
Yeah.
I had 2 months worth of food. When they was like, all right, go out and get your stuff.
We did that.
I went crazy.
I was like, baby, there ain't no more ramen noodles. If all
I
of
had
us,
them
we gotta
all,
have a
bro.
box of ramen noodles.
Look, because my homeboy Anthony was like, bro, look. He told me at work, he's like, look, go out tonight, get everything you can, because they about to shut down the world. This nigga just like a genius. And I'm like,
We got that call.
he scared me. Bro, I called the weed man first call.
He was like,
I need a pound.
yeah, right. It's gonna be a minute, bro.
Look, when I tell you, that's the only nigga I was going to see.
Right.
And we was meeting up, masked up. He was getting in my car. He had the Pooh Shiesty mask on. Yeah, bro, these prices going up, bro. I can't get my plug.
Right. You like, come on
I'm
with it.
risking it all for the weed, bro.
Right.
Mama, I can't come over because it's too dangerous.
The bubble the car with blue shots, get up back.
Bruh, what? And then I stopped hanging with cats that was moving too loose. Like
Yeah.
some of the homies, you know what I'm saying? So, Dre, we probably wouldn't have been homies for that time because you would be like, oh, yeah, come through. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
So I had to balance because of my wife and the kids. She was like, sit down. But I was like, oh, I'm going to the auction. You know, it's an auction 2 hours away I could drive to. I'm going to go to, because I really didn't buy into it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It always felt like it was something about it they wasn't telling us. You know what I'm
it
saying?
still is.
Yeah, until now.
do. We go see. We'll just give it about 20, 30.
Right.
They be coming with all these tales now. Like,
Exactly.
You got your friends, you got your car, you got your heart, so you know your misery like me. So tell me you got your friends, you got your car, you got your heart, so you know your misery like me. So tell me you got your friends, you got your car, you got your heart, 'cause I know you say your misery like me.
It always felt like there was something that they were telling us about, right? So through the pandemic, now by some act of nature,
I have my time back.
you were still able to work, but that extra 6 hours that you were there just for their pleasure,
Now it's my business. Yeah.
you ain't have to be there.
So
Right.
the snowball got rolling. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna create a website. I watched a guy named 1000 YouTube. He's a muralist from Michigan, white guy, dope. Just everything about him is dope. So I copied his whole style, like not his art style, but he's like, I use Squarespace, and then he was selling T-shirts and he was selling prints. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. Start selling my art and my prints. So I built the whole website. It took me like 2 months. Got my little LLC. And it's easy for a graphic designer to do all of that stuff because I don't have to call nobody like, oh, I need a website, I need
Right.
this, I need that. So I just created all that and I'm just sitting back like, that's dope. Now I can sell stuff. I got a merch store and it's linked to my bank account and all this stuff. But now I gotta market it. But then in the quarantine, one of my homies named Jay Reed, who's an artist out of Inkster, dude, super dope rapper. I don't know if you came to my show, but he performed at the end of my show if you stayed. But anyway, he came over with an album called California. He's like, Joe, I want you to work with me on my graphics, my album cover, my website, all this stuff. And I'm looking at it like, this guy about to blow, so he's a good dude, so I'm gonna help him. And I did like some really dope work. Did his website, we did a merch box. He had an album release in California. I went to it. And this was all during 2021. Right, but I'm still working from home, so I'm having this freedom, man. So I'm literally like working as a creative director on the homie's music project, working on my stuff, and then I was doing commission pieces. So I did that piece. I did 2 pieces for a girl named Amber, and the 2 pieces I did for a girl named Amber, that was what really changed the game. So shout out to Amber Cabral. She went to Southfield. She called me up, and when I was out doing the stuff for my homie Jay Reed, at my brother's house. My brother just got this dope garage. It was just like all white. I'm like, bro, let me do a mural in the garage. He like, dope. All right. What you gonna do? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm just do some colors and stuff. He's like, I bet. So then he was like, him and his wife were going to New Orleans, and they had kind of double booked this trip, so I was going to be out there by myself. So the last 3 days in Cali, I'm out there by myself. It was perfect. So I did the mural. He came back, he like, bro, this is so dope. Amber saw it on my Instagram. Amber real successful at what she does. She's an author. She does diversity and inclusion training for like big Fortune 500 companies. So she called me up like, Joe, I used to love your artwork. You know, you drew me a picture in like 9th grade. I still got it. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, dog. I want a piece. How much you charge me? I want 2 pieces. How much? I'm like, 2,500. She's like, what? Nah, that's too low. I'm like, what? I'm giving you the friend discount. She like, that's your problem right there. That's why you probably ain't making no money. She like, look, are you doing this for a career or you just doing this to play? I'm like, nah, I'm about to do this for real. She was like, all right, I'm gonna give you 10,000. I'm like, what? Nah, bro, you ain't. That's too much. She like, I'm telling you, bro. She was like, up your prices. So I did those pieces, and I took that 10,000, and I started to say, you know, I'm about to have an art show. So I booked a venue. I bought 30 new canvases. I bought
So the previous art show from your man that do real estate, it got put on hold. Clearly,
I didn't even.
It got put on hold.
That was another low point.
So did y'all reschedule? You couldn't reschedule nothing at this time.
It got put on hold, but then, not saying nothing negative about Snoop, but it was a miscommunication, or was no communication at one point. And my cousin was in town. Mind you, I did a mural on the inside of this building. Like, my first mural I ever did was on the inside of this building. We were still gonna have the art show. It just wasn't gonna be May 9th.
We didn't know when, right?
Right. So I had painted this mural. About a week later, I'm taking my cousin over there to show her. Pull up, go with the key, open it up. It's covered. The mural covered with studs, aluminum studs, and like half drywall. So I'm like,
this is your first mural.
I'm like, bro, what's going on? You cut? He like, bro, bad news, bro. I sold the building. I'm like, sold it? When? Bro, I didn't even get no pictures of the mural. When was you gonna holler at me? Like, bro, it's just crazy. The real estate market crazy. I had to flip it. You know what I'm saying? Because I put too much money on the table. And I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. I should have told you. I'm like, yeah, bro. Because I did the mural in the dark, pretty much, because it wasn't any lights. So I didn't get any pictures of it. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of salty about that. Yeah. But I had another tear moment where I was just like, I thought this was gonna happen,
right?
And it ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? This life will send you up, and then so
you like, we done postponed it, but it's coming.
It's still happening. I remember just kind of being choked up, being teary eyed about it. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it. And this was 2021, like maybe July or August. You know what I'm saying? Because he had ended up selling it. Well, he was regretful for that, you know what I'm saying, and he ended up paying me later on for that, for doing that. But then, fast forward, I end up, you know, in that come around for that January, I end up just being on Instagram, and I'm just like, hey, can I have an art show here? Hey, can I have an art show here? And everything was like, nope, we don't even know who you are. And then this one place was like, yeah, come on down, and we'll have a tour, And it was like an old cold storage building. You saw the building, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the track lighting, and the dude was like, look, I'll give it to you for $1,000 for 2 nights. I'm like, what? You don't take commission off the paintings? Because that's what galleries do. Galleries gonna take 50% off every sale.
Really? 50%?
Like, 50%. So this nigga said $1,000 for 2 nights, and whatever you sell, that's on you.
Wow.
Just don't sell no liquor. Can't sell liquor. And I'm like,
bad.
He's like, you could serve it, you could give it out for free. So that's what we did. But anyway, and he was super nice, man. It was like the universe was like, all right, we done gave you all these no's. Now we gonna give you this super yes. And my man was like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Y'all can smoke weed in here. You can do. He was just super cool, and he helped me out a lot with my show as far as like setting the lights, cleaning up, making sure everything was it came out better than I could ever imagine.
And by the way, when I got to the venue, we pulled up there, and as soon as we walked in, it was the perfect place.
Yeah.
It was the perfect place. I mean, you walked in and you kind of walked through a pathway of, and it took you through a story. You know what I'm saying? So it was, that's the place it was supposed to be at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the spot that I was gonna have it at, bro, was tiny. It was a little box. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, you know, universe has some better plan.
Yeah.
So when we walk into this art show, I'm a shoe person, so you see things like this. You know, these are Air Force Ones. That's a Detroit classic. These are artwork, man. It's beautiful.
Fresh as hell.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
I
You
had
see
a hard
stuff
time
like that.
pricing those.
Well, whatever you price them at, they not for wear. They for that's art. You know what I'm saying? That ain't your pair of shoes you're gonna throw on. You can't wear those.
You can if you want to. It's leather paint.
So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna have a little interactive experience with our audience. I'm gonna pass this picture around. We're gonna take a look at it, and that's a smaller print. We have a larger print as well. We're gonna take a look at it, and there will be shown on the bar when we show this. Want to grab that for me? It'll be shown, but I want to see. Suge, tell me, you taking a look at this picture. We have the artist here. See, this is why it's better. We don't have to wait till he's gone to be like, look at this wonderful work we
And
did.
y'all can show that on the screen while y'all talking about it.
We will.
Okay.
We got the artist right here. You look at art all the time and don't know exactly how it came to be or whatever. We got the artist right here. What do you see in this painting? What do you see in this picture? And this will be the picture that we are talking about. What do you see?
When I first looked at it, I noticed the earth was on one axis, right? But it's weighed down by the money. And when I saw the money weighing everything down, I initially thought greed.
Yep.
All right. Then when I look at the top of her head, the roots is growing out of her brain, right? And then in her hand, she holding down low, she holding a sword. And that's for defense.
Right.
Right? So you got defense, you got greed, you got the earth, and you got the roots that come from her brain. Now, how does it all go together? I ain't got that far yet, but that's what I see when I see the picture. That's what I imagine.
That's dope. You know, I mean, I'll let you your interpretation.
That is super dope.
Thanks, bro.
And I really didn't focus on some of those things. What I saw was a black woman, a younger black woman, and I saw the weight of like everything that she has to deal with. So she's got to deal with money and her and impressing people. Cause somehow I thought I saw money and jewelry or whatever, but I saw that, and then I saw the world and the money, and then I saw the chain around her arm, which symbolized something holding her back.
Yeah, she can't defend herself.
Like she can't defend herself. Like she's strong enough, but y'all got these chains on me, and then the money plays so much more importance over the world.
Yeah.
Like, you see how the money is weighing everything down. If we cared about the
The
world
scale
as much as
actually
we
broke.
cared about money, then it would be balanced out.
Yeah.
But it seems like we care about money so much more that, you know what I mean? So the money is holding down the weight.
Yeah.
And then certain people, I don't know if it was a cultural thing or what it was, but certain people can't afford to fight for themselves.
Yeah.
Because they got these chains on.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I saw.
And like I said, it originated as a commission piece. So my guy, Tyree, shout out to Tyree, got a store called Pillar and Pride.
Okay.
It's like a really dope, holistic health and wellness store, black owned. And I did a mural there too. But Oh yeah, it's K. Reed's kids on that now. But anyway, he was like, he had this. It's a real sculpture called Lady Justice, and so it's literally this almost like the same look, but the scale has nothing in it, and it's just equal. And she has the sword, but she does have the blindfold, so it's kind of representing like I don't see no color or nothing like that, and I'm keeping it equal. I'm defending justice, right? So he like, how can we like show what's really
Put a
going
twist on that, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you know, the greed, right? So how can you just visibly show that? And the greed, it's going to destroy the earth. So you see it's about to break. So eventually, you know, what a lot of people going to see is that you can't eat money. So you can destroy the earth, and then when she go to try to defend herself, she chained up. And there was a couple other concepts that I was going to have in that, that the guy who wanted me to commission it wanted, but I just, you know, kind of cut it out. It was going to have like blood coming from the eyes. I remember it was going to be like some leaflets flying in the back with like, you know, Roe versus Wade, stuff like that. But I'm like, once you show the scale, the broken scale, people going to come up with their own concepts. Now the roots, right, that started with that painting right there. And I couldn't tell you where, I couldn't tell you. I'm not even gonna come up here and try to fake like I'm some deep thought, right? That just came out of me. So I remember I did that, and I used to draw these afro heads all the time. But then one time I just did that, and I'm like, oh, I kind of look like a tree. And I did that, and my boy Parker would just stare at that picture, dog. He would just come, sit in the chair, and be like, bruh, like, what was you on with this? Like, this is so dope, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up giving it to him as a gift because he was real sick at the time. So he would just sit in his chair, man, just kind of dozed off, you know what I'm saying? But I gave it to him. He was super happy. So it's really a piece that lived in his mom's house. But she let me borrow it for my show, and I still got it. But no,
I see all of the things that are in our minds. You know what I mean? So much in your head. There's so much potential. So much that gets held down because of circumstances. We gotta work. We gotta do this. So I can't get to the beautiful things that are in my brain, to the passions that are in my brain. But either way, it's definitely art. It's like it's God given. That's so. This is abstract, right? Would this be considered an abstract or?
Yeah, I mean, like, cause I kind of do remember I told you from the beginning, it's like abstract and photorealism. So it's a little bit of both, right? So it's a little portraity. That's not a word, but.
It is now.
Yeah. You know.
No, that's not a word at all. But we
out with
understand
the
it.
abstract. So I started, and you know, I met a muralist named Georgie, who was really dope. Her Instagram is The Garden of Journey, right? And I met her, and I met her at the Mural Fest. This is another thing that happened in quarantine. So I just volunteered for this Mural Fest. Sydney James was running it, and she like, yeah, just show up at 6 in the morning. And I showed up, bro, 6 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And I was still working my job. They didn't know where I was at, right? I brought my...
Oh, this, okay, yeah.
Yeah, at this time I had the laptop out, you know what I'm saying? I got Wi-Fi, I can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like 4th, 5th day, she like, bro, I'm gonna get you on the wall. I painted, and this girl named Georgie pulled up, and I'm like, I do. Like, I was about to marry her off top, right? Like the African muralist.
Right. Wow.
Georgie, wherever you at. But, and one of my boys pulled up and tried to get on too. You know, you got one of the homies just lurking around. Like, bro, get out of here. So anyway, we all went out one night, and she was like, because they were in town, she's from North Carolina. And I was like, man, I really don't have a style. She was like, what? Yes, you do. She was like, with them clouds and them tree heads and stuff. She was like, keep doing that. Put that in everything. So I'm like, all right. I'm going to start putting the clouds and everything. I'm going to put the roots and the trees and stuff. And I'm just going to keep put my style on certain things. And even this style with the colors, like, people didn't really like that at first. You know, I wasn't getting the biggest responses. But
That's
now,
dope.
it's like, bro, I want one like that. I want one. And I'm like, well, girl, you paid me 5 G's. So that's the ticket now. And they're like, all right. So literally, I got like 4 commission pieces now, but they my style.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're always gonna have clients, right? Like as an entrepreneur, yeah, it's dope. You know, you could just do paintings and people just buy whatever you do.
Well, here we go.
And
This
still
is
get there.
on how did we get here. We giving y'all this early. We giving y'all this is first. Don't wait till Jay-Z goes and says you gotta have a Jay Cazeno. If Jay-Z says that, all of a sudden your paintings are now 50,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I got one for 24,000.
well, Kanye West, or if you know what I mean, Will and Jada, Puff Daddy, if they see this and they show it at their house, now all of a sudden celebrities from all over, everybody's calling you, and the pieces are 100,000.
That's maybe something you can help me do because I got a Kobe piece, right, and Kobe and Gigi piece. It's in my
It
basement.
was
right
big.
now.
It's big though. Right?
I want to give it to somebody dope, like Swiss or Snoop or somebody like that.
That can happen.
So
We can. Okay. So we'll
if I
talk
give it
about
to Snoop,
that
that'd be
later.
a dream. That'd be a dream.
You know who? I would love to see give to like a Jalen Rose. You know what I mean? Because he's so Detroit.
Yeah, Kobe put 80 on him,
He did,
so I put it right up in your mantle.
but you ain't giving it to Kobe, so
Yeah.
clearly, so
I'm like, Jalen,
right. So,
you put that 8-1
but
on
I'm saying he's so
no, I love
Detroit
Jalen.
and he's so supportive
Yeah.
of us and
Yeah.
everything. He still stayed true to Detroit. And
I do a Jalen piece.
you know what I'm saying? So, hey, God got a plan for it.
I do a
God
Jalen
got
piece
a
with the
plan
Michigan
for it.
shorts.
We don't have to do
Okay?
too much work. You know what I mean?
He's all influenced by the Fab Five.
So that's just a small sampling of Joy's work, and we're going to give you all details of where you can see more of his work. But the pandemic came on, and you created
It saved
something
me.
out of it.
Yeah, the pandemic saved me from corporate insanity.
You was at work, how was you feeling? Because at this point, when you got all this going on, it's no way you're excited to do this. Here, Joy, can you hand that to us? And, you know.
Right. Well, the thing was, hold on, I'm gonna fix my head. Thing was now, yeah, I could balance it though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing this. I could do this in my sleep. I could do this lighting stuff in my sleep. And then as soon as I get a break, you know what I'm saying? And so once that ball got rolling, I'm like, oh, this just my cushion money right here. And as soon as I don't need it no more, I'm gonna be good. But you know, I kind of made a move. I switched companies, right? And because I was just tired of the other company, man. I'm like, y'all, I'm been doing too much. You know, I'm taking advantage of me. But the new company is like, you gotta come to the office because we back in the office, and they completely different than this other company. So I was like, more money, different environment. I'm like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna take it. So it's a little, not a regret, but it's almost like, dang, I'm back in that corporate mode where we working 4 days a week. They got 1 day remote, and I'm like, I literally told the president, I'm like, I don't know how long I can do this, cause like I need at least 3 days at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I can work remote.
Yeah.
And I went to California, and I said, let me work remote when I go to California. I don't want to take vacation days. And they were like, I'm like, I'm gonna do the work. And so I went into overdrive. I'm like, I'm not gonna do 5 projects. I'm gonna do 10 projects this week. They ain't care.
They want to have you there, man.
If they can't see me, it just not work.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get there 8:30. At 4:30, I'm closing this thing and I'm leaving this. Like they're like, yo, you're not taking a laptop home? Y'all getting this 8, 9, and that's it. But when I get home, bro, I'm like, okay, I'm tired now. I do my workout. It's 8 o'clock. I'm about to be sleepy.
Yeah. I done gave y'all the best of me.
The best of me. I'm tired
Yeah.
now. I play with the dog for a second. You got any type of girlfriend, anything like that? That's another hour.
gave y'all the
Gone.
best of me.
Don't have no kids, no family. I don't know how people be doing it.
Me either. Me
So-
either.
That's why they like, go get you a family. I'm like, yeah, bro. How? Like, when? When am I gonna have time? For one, let alone have a little hobbies and stuff.
Right.
So,
That's a fact. We talk about that quite often. You definitely give the best of yourself in that 10 hours that you at work. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate you come home and give your family what's left and give your passions what's left and give, you know what I mean? Give your
and it
projects
shouldn't
what's
even be
left
like
of
that.
you.
Should just be more open. Like, all right, Joe, this is what we need to do for the week. If you want to come in, come in. If you don't, you don't. Just make sure you on these Zoom calls or, you know. In some companies, you can see they switching to that.
Mhm.
Like my brother at Ford, bro, he was traveling 2-3 times a week, just like San Diego, Seattle. He was doing all these West
In
Coast stuff.
Cali, right?
Yep. He don't travel no more. They all just Zoom calls.
Mhm.
And he just had a little girl. He like, Joe, man, I don't know. I would be missing all of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, man. Some companies get it. They like, all right, let's not.
You gotta have an
overstress.
open-minded person at the top to be like, listen, as long as I'm getting my results, I don't want to keep my hands on y'all. If I'm getting my results,
It's all about how they measure productivity.
yeah.
And some know how, some have figured it out.
Mhm.
Everybody haven't.
And some people just want to go back to, well, that's how the old owner did it or something.
Right.
I saw a commercial the other day and it was like, that's how Steve did it. And then literally this old dead person popped up. He was like, I'm dead. It was like, damn. You know, it was kind of a spinoff. Like, and he's like, hey, y'all, don't worry about what I would have done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that's what really set it off for me and set off the entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying, spirit, working with other people, being in the Mural Fest. And I'm like, I can do this, man. Like, you know, so I told myself this is my last year working.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just going to step out.
Yeah.
So it might be a little scary.
It will be, but you on your way. Your dream of being recognized internationally is coming.
I appreciate
I
that.
can feel it. I can see it. I'm saying it right now.
That means a lot, bro.
At the
Bro,
end of 2022, it's
a
coming.
no-brainer, Joe. You
Yeah.
are. Okay, so we all know someone. Shout out to Rose Spit. He had a shoe release.
Oh, he went crazy today.
Rolling, the guy we went to college
Oh.
with. He somehow he has burned rubber and he's been working 218.
Jordan said, look, we're going to work with one company to do this thing. It's going to be the South African company or it's going to be this company. And they chose him.
And he's got a Jordan 2 shoe
Bro, it's 3,000 people down there.
that released, and it's Detroit based. It has a map of Southfield and he's from
You go all the way to
Pontiac.
Flint.
Yeah, so he said, I want to talk, show cities, highlight cities
Yeah.
that
He said
weren't
they just about
always
Detroit,
highlighted.
yeah.
Typically, when you talk about Detroit, they know all about Detroit.
He
He from
killed
Pontiac,
it.
Southfield, and the shoe is cold.
Bro.
This
I
man
went
designed
up
Jordan.
there at noon. And I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, he don't need my support. I was going up there for support. I'm like, he got it. They going to be sold out. It's going to be plenty of people
He
out
went
here.
viral flat out. And he did a clothing line with it. The
Yeah.
hoodies and shorts
Bruh.
and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, shout out to y'all, man, for you one phone call away. You one
Yeah. I got Ro in the DM. Ro always respond to my DM.
you're
I
one
invited him
DM
to the
away
art show.
from somebody being like,
Yeah, Nike need to go and press these up.
because to me,
For sure.
from what I took from your art show, you said people that used to like this. To me, this is your signature right here.
Yeah.
This fatigue right here, this multicolored fatigue.
I feel like these would sell nowadays.
If you had a black T-shirt with just a spot of that on it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I feel like this is your signature right here, because this is just.
I feel like kids would wear this because dudes could wear that now. Because, you know, we was coming up.
Kids ain't. I'm wearing it.
these
Yeah,
are
yeah, for
these
real.
are the kicks is a culture now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The exclusive kicks, that's a culture. So you one phone call away from somebody seeing this and be like, oh, we need that. And matter of fact, Adidas would be fighting Nike for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause Yeezy they're like, we need a new Yeezy.
You know what's funny?
Quickly.
I was in a competition and I lost and I was a little salty, but I didn't know. I almost like I took it serious, but it was like something I just didn't pay attention to. So it was a competition where you got to draw for an hour. You got to paint for an hour, and it had to be something. It was called the Champion of Detroit. So that was the theme, Champion of Detroit. So they had like 10 artists from the city, dope artists. And you got to paint something that represented Champion of Detroit. I painted Ben Wallace, right? But it was like I was taking my time. I'm not a fast. I'm not like speed through it. And at the end of it, they like, yo, surprise, y'all. The winner gonna get a deal with Champion.
Oh.
He was like, let me start. Can we
Let me start
over?
over, bro. Like, y'all ain't say all that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to be like, bro, I got shoes and stuff that I've done, you know what I'm saying? Champion, y'all need to holler at me. Y'all stuff kind of bland. You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta
They
do
could use
something.
a
Wow.
new juice
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying? And they picked these other artists. But I did go up to the main guy. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, check me out on Instagram, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, sometimes you'll be in these different companies. They sleep on you or whatever, but you'll come in on the back end, you know, with your own product one day.
The winner might not pan out to be all what they expected, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you
Shout out
this.
to the winner, but yeah, for real.
What you do and how you gonna win is you're gonna wake up every day and you're gonna pray for direction.
That's real.
When your show was scheduled for May 9th in November, who knew March 13th was coming?
Right.
Who knew
Nobody.
that mural that you spent time painting on that wall when you was dreaming of your art show coming to life and you was painting that mural on the wall? When you got stabbed in your heart when you walked and saw drywall and studs all over your what was supposed to be your big show, you didn't know this wasn't the building for it.
Just to add one more thing, when I was doing that mural, this dude pulled up, man, like 4 dudes hopped out, and I'm like, oh shit, these dudes look kind of tough. And he's like, yo, you the owner? And I'm like, no. He was like, I want to talk to him because I want to buy this joint. I want to turn it into a hookah spot. And I'm thinking like, yeah, we doing an art show.
It's like, I ain't giving you your number.
Because he literally had some money, you know what I'm saying? I got this Escalade or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you want this outfit? He's like, nah, my bad, bro. You look real familiar. And I thought about it, I'm like, oh, it was the boxer dude, Tony Harrison. I'm like, bro, you my man, you be knocking niggas out. He's like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, if you want to paint, bro, you come to my gym. I got a whole gym over there, bro. You paint the whole thing. I'm like, word? He like, yeah, bro, come check out my gym. So I hit him up, and he kept his word. I went over there, and he had this whole huge back part of this gym. And I was like, I'll come up with a concept. And I sent it to him, and I got him, like, training this little boy. And I did this whole abstract thing. And I sent it to him. He like, dog, it's cold, bro. It's all you. And I'm like, well, I just need, like, 800 in materials, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be a shit ton to do. Man, I ended up spending $2,000 in materials. And I didn't ever go back to him and say, hey, I went overboard.
Right.
But I did this whole wall, and then he was like, bro, you might as well just finish it. Just do the whole other part, too. So I literally did, like, this whole Spirit of Detroit thing, merging into his body, and then a kid, and all this stuff. And that was when it was like, all right, man, like, I can really do this. Because everybody, all the kids would come to that gym every day, and they'd be like, yeah, sweet. Yeah. And afterwards, we took a picture together with it. And he was like, when I get it renovated, bro, I'm going to holler at you, you know, do-do-do-do. And I don't, you know, it's not like, I still feel that he kind of, not like he got over. But I basically did it for free, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was that exposure.
Right.
Exactly.
And then I was able to show people, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. I do murals. So I would
it's
tell
gonna
anybody.
Come back. It's going to come
I'll
back.
tell anybody. Because it's always going to be people in your life that say, how much you get paid? That ain't even it. No. It's about the relationship sometimes.
Yeah. It feels good to pay an extra bill or two. I understand that, but at the end of the day, in God's plan, that couple dollars that you would have got, that would be gone by now anyway.
Yeah. Or if I didn't do it because I didn't get paid.
The longer story of it is, you was at a building working on the mural that never got shown.
And that's where my man saw me.
And doing that ended up turning into you being able to paint this.
Yeah.
Who knows how many people are going to see this.
And once I was done with the Tony Harrison one, I took 1,000 pictures. And I'm like, y'all just burn this building down tomorrow.
Right. He's like, I'm gonna have the pictures.
Straight. I got these pictures. You know what I'm saying?
And somebody could see that mural and be like, who did this?
Yeah.
Somebody could see this show.
Somebody
who
said
did this?
that. Somebody seen this, right? And my man called me and said, bro, it's two young dudes that were just in the store. They said, my man got a mural down the street at Tony joint. And I was like, what?
How did they know?
See?
Because of this Afro head thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's making noise, man. You one DM, one phone call, one something away. And I'm just glad to say we had
You told me I was Tupac, so wait until I get my music back.
Hey, man.
They told me it was first. Wait until I get back
I'm
in my
telling
bag.
y'all.
You gotta come back and we gotta talk about the music thing.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
y'all gonna hear some of the music because on this podcast, the intro music that you hear and some of the segue music and things like that is gonna be produced by Joy.
I got about 1,000 tracks on my computer. I just used to always make music. It never left my computer. And my boys, some of my boys would be like, bro, you cold. Like,
You know, everybody. Kanye West's mom told him he was the coldest.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just speak it into existence right now. And then what I want everybody to all our listeners, I want you to take away from this that we all will have to work and we're gonna pay the bills, but I challenge us all to chase after that gift that God gave us. God gave every person walking this earth a gift. It can and will get buried away in doing the things that we do to get obligated, that we're obligated to, bills and children and everything like that. It can get buried away, but I challenge us all to find that time, find that passion, that gift that you were given, and nurture it. Because there's bigger and better things to life once you are fulfilling the gift that you were given.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Cazeno for being a real one and following that up, man. And following that up.
I feel like I got lucky too, because the pandemic showed me and the loss of a couple of homies. Your health is everything. So without that, bro, ain't no art shows. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So that's the number one.
So all part of the plan.
And I know, I'm not the most religious person. I'm always talking about the universe and this and that, but I'm very grateful for the moments of good health. You know what I'm saying? Right after my show, I had COVID, bro. I was wiped out. I'm like, bro, this would have happened the week before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, just had other little small battles and with health and stuff like that. So, just super grateful, man. I appreciate y'all for letting me get down. I feel like I could talk for another 2 hours, bro. I'd be talking.
For sure. No, and it's good stuff. I'm on the edge of my chair.
And so for all our listeners, if they want to dig into Joy Cazeno and where they can get one of these paintings, one of these prints, some of these kicks, some of this merch, where they gotta go, Joe?
JC3art.com.
JC, the number 3, art.com.
Yeah.
And he's got a pretty dope portfolio of things he's done at...
Oh, the professional portfolio, that's JC3.carbonmade.
Carbon Maids. Don't type in the other one, it'll send you somewhere else.
Carbon
Carbon Made.
Yeah,
.com.
JC3.
And is there anywhere where the music's out there yet?
The music is
Or you want to sign with me right now?
Right?
Hold on, we can pause that. You can sign with me right now. Because if I'd have signed, you the next pop, let's sign the deal. Let's make a deal right now. Just sign this right now, and then I'll fill it in later on. You know what I'm saying?
You big red from the back.
We'll fill in
I'm
the
just
details
a
later
little
on.
country boy with a little baby.
So shout out to Joy Cazeno. And if anybody wants to tell their story, if anybody's got a story that they want to tell about how did they get here, if anybody's going through a moment of feeling like how did I get here, get at us in the comments.